Hello, I find myself here another day on the Decora tu mismo channel, which is the secondary channel, as you know, from Decorate Your House. And well, today what I want is to show you this area of the terrace. It's the front part of the house, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what ideas we have for this part here. My mother is on the camera recording. I don't think you can hear her because I have the mic, so to be able to talk at long distances. If she wants to add something later, I'll get closer and we'll see what she wants to share. Should she give me a signal? Why do I want to show you this part and discuss my ideas with you? Well, many times I do the renovation, think about the ideas, and then I show you and you give me many ideas that I could have taken advantage of while I am doing the renovation. Since I record without stopping to explain and show what I want to do in videos like this, there's no time to analyze the other ideas. Since we are numerous and can contribute significantly, it's very helpful for me. Could you lend me a hand in case there's something you would modify or things that I don't know how to solve so we can solve them together? So let's start there at the entrance of the house. From here we could walk in or we could drive in. We will analyze this area in another video. I really want to make a video for each room, so to speak, of the terraces. I was going to do the one in the back, but I say, why am I going to do the one in the back? If this one is going to go first, we talk about this one first, and then we go around the house. So I find myself at the front of the house. We just measured it here, and it specifically is 105 square meters. It is 14 meters long by 7.5 meters wide. These 7.5 meters would include this little porch that we have over here, which is a covered area. First, let's discuss the porch area, which I have planned for this part. Start by covering the bricks. I know many of you are going to tell me no, because it's a shame, because they are nice, they are not all bad, but they don't fit in a Balinese villa, or at least that's what I see. I haven't talked to my parents, so I don't really know if it's gonna happen or not. We have to agree, that's my intention, then we'll see. I would like to cover these pillars, and I would like to cover them with stone, that is, make some stone pillars that look really nice. A stone of this color, whitish beige gray color. Rather, and well, that the joint is well covered and that it looks really cool. On this side from the roof, I would like to put wood on it, but artificial wood, of course. I don't want to put real wood. Cause, well, for obvious reasons, it's outside and it could get ugly. Therefore, I would use polyvinyl chloride or something similar to cover this inner part. And can you imagine the columns with the stone, all of this in wood? Another little thing about this roof is that I would like this, it's something I mentioned, they told me no, but well, it's still to be seen. And I don't know if you've noticed in some cabins, these from the Maldives, from the Balinese houses and so on, they have like a kind of roof made, a kind of straw. And I think it could look very nice to simulate that this top part, the tiles, are made with this type of straw, and it would give that natural touch and like a cabin. But, well, this is a bit to be seen. I don't know if it will be very practical when it comes to cleaning, so you have to think about it well. We have more or less the porch covered. Let's talk about the areas that would be part of this terrace. Really, when I measure it, I am quite surprised because I did not imagine that there would be 105 square meters here. My mother and I have calculated it 3 or 4 times because we weren't sure if we were measuring it correctly, as it doesn't seem as big to us. It's quite a lot of space, so we can divide it into zones. We can make the food area, since the back will have the barbecue with a table. But what happens if you cook here in this kitchen? Which, by the way, the kitchen part is this window, meaning through this door we would exit the kitchen to this terrace. From here is the access route we would have. Well, of course, going to that area over there, if you have cooked here, doesn't make much sense. That's it. 1, 2. The sun rises there. Therefore, maybe not in summer because you get scorched, but in spring and winter it's appreciated, right? When it's this sunny weather, that cold, but with sun, right? So we could take advantage of this terrace more towards spring and winter, and the one in the back more towards summer, because it also provides a lot more shade. Can you eat there without getting scorched? The sun hits hard here in the summer, but as I say, that sun is appreciated at other times of the year. Considering that we are going to make the dining area, we would have to make one part dedicated only to that, and another part, well, more dedicated. Like some hammocks and a bit of a rest. Relaxation area. Here comes the crux of the matter. My idea was to make the dining area here, since, well, it's in a part that doesn't bother when accessing the house, it's a bit apart. And I think it could be very good, but the things we put here are seen from the street, so I had thought of doing it as a construction, that is making a table and some of these long construction stools. Even put up a tent that had the option to put a small roof or not, depending on whether we need it or want to leave it in full sun. So my idea was to make a big table here with some benches where you could sit and eat and bring the food. Well, in a quick and easy way from the inside. This area here, well, would be a bit more dedicated to rest and to place some hammocks. And perhaps, well, there could be some entertainment. Well, I don't know. I would say one of these ping pong, but not because this is going to go in the back. But here this space is like, I don't know very well what we could put in to also serve as entertainment. Apart from the hammocks then, would this be a bit of the distribution of the areas I had thought of? What materials can we use for the floor? We'll probably leave the walls as they are. The only thing we're going to do is clean them thoroughly, as they are very dirty. And this, of course, with a pressure washer. When we have light, logically, a pressure washer well cleaned and then painted, I think it can look phenomenal. And this part here, I would like to put a large cement board. Well, the board would have to be put on everything, regardless of what we were going to put, because this board would help us level. The floor is very uneven. In fact, look around here. We have all these cracks on the floor. All these are cracks in the floor. Then we have some holes over here. Plants come out from here. We just bought the house. I made a video of it, and it's full of weeds and plants. So, would this be a slab of concrete thick enough to prevent plants and weeds from blooming? And I had thought of placing grass here because the grass can serve you for that, to lie down, to do some outdoor activities. I don't know, I make it up. I always do sports in this part here. My father, for example, prefers to do it in the back because he has the bar. I really enjoy it here because of the stunning views and the sunshine. It's a great place for me to do sports. So I think, for example, here to do sports, yoga, meditation, sunbathing, and all this would be an ideal area. From here, we would have to decide what kind of floor we would put in. I wouldn't like to just leave it with the board because we would have to paint it or something similar, and I don't know how it would turn out. It is true that it's a lot of square footage to put something else. It would have to be something that is quick, easy, and durable. So it's like the material that everyone wants, but I don't know, because it would take us a long time to lay tiles. And perhaps the ideal, or what I was thinking in mind, would be to lay a composite floor. These slats that are used with some levelers on the floor and some composite slats are put on. And this would be somewhat the idea of the division between the two areas. The dining area would be smaller because the house really only accommodates up to 12 people. So I also don't think a table for 23 is necessary. With a maximum for 14 or 15 people, I think it's enough. So maybe a table for this number of people could be enough. I don't know, from here to there, for example. And all of this, well, like a recreational rest area. Okay, this would be the area. We've already discussed this. We would leave the porch as it is, and we would probably use the same floor that we use for this part here. We would use it for the porch part. And here comes, what do we do around here? And I don't know if I showed it in the video, but on this side here, we have some stairs that take us to the bottom part. And here at the bottom we find this area that has a little tree and, well, and a bit like stepped. My idea would be to arrange the steps like this, fix them with mortar, and in this part here, place white stone that is covered and very pretty. And so, in a simple way, and within what is economical, we can cover this part here. I think this part is best, but let me know if you have ideas. Let's go up. As for the facade, we really won't be able to do much. It's also not advisable to do much more because there will already be many things that attract attention from the outside. So I think painted white with a new door, the windows that we are already changing, and some new bars that need to be replaced, well, I think it will also gain a lot more. The facade needs to be scraped painted, and, well, the facade has its work cut out for it. But this will be once we finish the interior, at least the bottom part. And, well, I think everything is explained. I'm going to see what my mother thinks. Did you miss the pool? What could it be?
Man, for now, yes, right? I would put a little pool here in this corner while we prepare the one that has to go there, because for the summer, and that will be good for us, a little pool. Did you miss that?
For now, yes, but for the future here.
Well, it would have to be temporary, something clear, something removable.
And besides the pool, anything else?
Well, the thing about the roof, the thing about the pillars, I do think it's a good idea. The thing about putting stone, right? You said to cover them with stones? It would be nice. It would look nicer than it does now. I would leave the roof as it is, and there I wouldn't put the idea you have. Underneath, yes, the wood is fine. I mean, above, I would leave it as it is above, because of course all of that is for a bug breeding ground. I don't see anything that needs to be changed with the roof. It looks fine to me as is, although it could use a bit of cleaning with a pressure washer and some fresh paint.
The eyebrows?
A dark color like that would have to be a grey-black such. You clean them the same today, so they're fine. Well, there's no need to give them more. That's it. That's what you've said. The grass in this area, yes, the grass would be good for setting up a hammock, sunbathing. And what I don't see here is a fixed table, like you want to make a concrete table and bench. I thought a table and armchairs or chairs that you could move from one side to the other would be better. Sometimes, I don't know, a tent would be needed here too, of course.
But here they are, very visible. I mean that maybe they can be stolen, let's finally say it.
If it's about that issue, let's see, a table and some chairs here would be ideal that you can move from one side to another. You might put it here or somewhere else if you feel like it. You can also move the tent, but you're not going to be moving it around. That, of course, well, it's a matter of going and looking to see what kind of tables and workbenches can be made, because it would be for us to do it too, right? Well, the rest, everything else seems fine to me. I don't know, we agree on that, everything is fine. It's not like, let's see, it's not an area where you can do much. The thing about the stairs and the front part, well, it's like a garden. The front part is about putting some little trees, some plants. The stone, a little bit of grass in between, artificial grass too, so that not everything looks so white. The issue of the fence can be painted. I've already said it. Did you say painted? I thought it was to clean it, yes. Also painted with pearl gray, something like that, right? It would look nice. White is so dirty. Gray seems more enduring, doesn't it? Other than that, good. Already eager to see it, but well, from here to what I know. Well, supposedly this has to be ready by spring, right? Of course, to come and have a good time here, right? While we're also working. Now to wait for the moment to come and get on with it, but we still have other things to do ahead of us, more important things.
We have time to think about it. In the next video, I will show you what my ideas are for this area. From here, which is also totally desolate. There's not much to contribute here, but I have some cool little things that might look good. Yes, right here in this
side, especially the part of the wall which is in such bad shape. After painting and minor repairs, Mom, the wall near the mic looks terrible and needs attention. Once we plaster it a little bit, cover up the cracks and all that, and change the windows above, it also makes it look very ugly. There's a desire for hands-on experience, but progress will be gradual. That's it, nothing left. Wait for the terrace and hallway to have their turn.
I hope you liked the video.
And until next time...